Welcome to a digital journey through time. In this video, we'll uncover the fascinating generations of computers from the earliest machine powered by vacuum tube to today's lightning-fast AI-driven system. Each generation of computers has reshaped the way we live, work, and learn, bringing us closer to a more connected and intelligent world. Whether you're a tech student or simply curious about how far we've come, this video will guide you through the key milestones that defined each era of computing. So, get ready to explore the past, understand the present, and imagine the future of technology. Let's dive into the generations of computers. The evolution of computer technology is often divided into 5 generations. The first generation is on 1940s to 1950s. The first generation used vacuum tubes, which were bulky, unreliable, and prone to overheating. These computers were large, expensive, and mainly used for scientific calculations. The second generation is on 1950s to 1960s. The second generation saw the introduction of transistors, which replaced the vacuum tubes. Transistors made computers smaller, faster, and more reliable. These computers were used for business applications and scientific calculations. The third generation is on 1960s to 1970s. The third generation introduced integrated circuits, which combine multiple transistors on a single chip. Integrated circuits further reduced size, increased speed, and improved reliability. These computers were used for a wide range of applications, including business, science, and education. The fourth generation is on 1970s to present. The fourth generation saw the development of microprocessors, which integrated all components of computers into a single chip. These computers were smaller, affordable, and user-friendly, making them accessible to the general public. The fifth generation is the present and the future. The fifth generation focuses on artificial intelligence, parallel processing, and the internet. These computers are faster, more powerful, and connected, enabling applications like virtual reality, machine learning, and cloud computing.
So, good day everyone. I'm going to discuss the different types of generations of computer. So, the first generation is vacuum tube. A vacuum tube is also known as bulb. It is an electronic device that controls the flow of electrons within a vacuum, typically inside a sealed glass tube. It used as switches in early computers as amplifiers in radios and television. The second generation is transistor. A transistor is a small fundamental electric component made of semiconductor material that can be used as an electronic switch or amplifier. It controls the flow of electricity in televisions, smartphones, and computers. So, the third generation is integrated circuit. An integrated circuit or microchip is an electronic circuit with interconnected components like transistor, resistor, and capacitor. It is usually made of silicon. They are fundamental to modern electronics, enabling devices to smaller, faster, and more reliable. The fourth generation is microprocessor. A microprocessor is the central processing unit or CPU integrated into a single computer chip acting as the brain of electronic devices to perform arithmetic, logic, and control operations on data by executing program instructions.
So, let's talk about the magnetic drum. Magnetic drum is a cylinder coated with magnetic material on which data and programs can be stored. In other explanation, magnetic drum is an early storage device where data was stored on a rotating cylinder coated with magnetic material. Next, let's talk about the magnetic core. Magnetic core uses arrays of small rings of magnetized material called cores to store information. The magnetic core, which used small magnetic rings to store information before modern RAM existed. Next is the machine language. Machine language is a low-level programming language compressed of a collection of binary ones and zeros that the computer can read and understand. Machine language is the most basic programming language composed of binary digits, zeros and ones that computers directly understand. Assembly language. Assembly language is like the machine language that a computer can understand, except that assembly language uses abbreviated words. Example, addition, subtraction, and division, in place of numbers, zeros and ones. Assembly language is a low-level programming language that uses abbreviations, additions, subtractions, and divisions instead of binary, making it easier for human to understand than pure machine language. Next is the memory. Memory is a physical device that is used to store data, information, and program in a computer. Memory refers to physical storage device like RAM that hold data, information, and programs, temporarily or permanently. Artificial intelligence or AI. Artificial intelligence is an area of computer science that deals with the simulation and creation of intelligence machines or intelligent behave in computers. They think, they learn, they work, and react like humans. Artificial intelligence or AI is a field of computer science that enables machines to simulate human-like thinking, learning, and decision-making.
These are the main characteristics of the first generation of computers in 1940s to 1950s. So based on my own understanding, the first generation of computers in 1940s to 1950s used vacuum tubes as a main component, with magnetic drums and tapes for memory. And they only work using machine language. They were very large, slow, needed punch card and paper tape for input and output, consume a lot of electricity, an example of ENIAC and UNIVAC. And these are the second generation of computers in 1950s to 1960s. Based on my understanding, the second generation of computers in 1950s to 1960s used transistor instead of vacuum tubes, which made them smaller, faster, and more reliable. And they use magnetic core and tapes or disk for memory, work with assembly language, consume less power, and still use puncher cards and magnetic tape for input and output.
I'll be discussing the third generation of computers. The third generation of computers is started in 1960s and 1970s. What we call the third generation of computers. That era was a major leap forward, especially with the introduction of integrated circuit, which is ICs, which replaced the bulker transistors of the previous generation. These tiny chips pack more power into smaller pieces, making computers faster, more reliable, and more affordable. So, ICs is allowed for more complex processing and better performance. So, muna purpose ni ICs or integrated circuit. So, second, memory system expanded with magnetic core tape disk, which were huge at that time. So, katong RAM niya or memory system niya. So, third, programming power. High-level language is a Fortran basic. Kani nga year, ang gamit nila nga computer language or sa programming guro nila, like Fortran basic, COBOL or COBOL, and even an early C made programming more accessible and versatile. The size and efficiency, many computers engage smaller, cheaper, and more efficient than their processor. Think of the PDP-11 or IBM 360 as the sleek sports cars, and compared to bulky trucks, earlier machines. So before, ang computer in 1960s and 1970s is, I think, affordable pa siya, and katong ilang mga size ng computer is dagko pa, and katong ilang monitor kinapatoy katong nailubot sa luyo and dili pa ka siya ingon nga high-tech nga computer. Unlike now nga generation is more nindot na siya gamiton, and ilang monitor is flat na, wala katong nailubot sa luyo. So, user interaction. Input and output device alike keyboards, monitors, and magnetic tape made computing more interactive and practical for business and scientific use. So, ang user interaction niya or kata magamit or kata nga user interaction kay kuan siya gamiton na siya katong keyboards like monitors or katong mouse man yung part sa iyang computer, and gamit mo siya i-practice katong na mga business sa una and katong edit sa una. And it's wild to think that this innovation laid the groundwork for the personal computers that followed in the next generation. So katong 1960s and 1970s, sige pa to siya kasaka or nagka-high-tech until now this generation nga. Nindot na siya mga gaan ay iyang mga gamit kay nindot na yung sa computer is more high-tech na. So muna to muna atong mga nagamit karon nga computers, and magkasaka pa sad ni next year.
The fourth generation of computers, which began in 1970s and continues to the present, is characterized by the use of very large-scale integration (VLSI) and the microprocessor. VLSI allowed thousands of transistors to fit on a single microchip, making the microprocessor possible, an entire CPU built into one small chip. This innovation made computers smaller, faster, cheaper, and more efficient than the previous generations. Fourth generation computers also use semiconductor memory such as RAM, temporary storage, which is erased when the computer is turned off, and ROM, permanent storage, which is retained even when the computer is turned off, which made data handling faster and more reliable. Programming became easier with the introduction of high-level languages like Python, C#, Java, JavaScript, Rust, and Kotlin, a mix of both third and fourth generation languages. These computers improved in speed, accuracy, and reliability, and supported various input and output devices such as keyboards, pointing devices, scanners, monitors, and printers, making user interaction more practical. Another important feature was networking, which allowed computers to connect, share data, and communicate, laying the foundation for the internet. Example of fourth generation computers include the IBM PC, Star 1000, Apple II, and Apple Macintosh, which popularized personal computing and graphical user interfaces. In short, this generation revolutionized technology and established the basis of the modern computers we use today.
Fifth generation of computers. The main characteristic of fifth generation of computers, the present and the future. Main electronic component based on artificial intelligence uses the ultra-large scale integration ULSI technology and parallel processing method. ULSI, millions of transistors on a single microchip. Parallel processing method, use two or more microprocessors to run tasks simultaneously. Language, understand natural language such as human language. Power, consume less power and generate less heat. Speed, remarkable improvement of speed, accuracy, and reliability in comparison with the fourth generation computers. Size, portable and small in size and have a huge storage capacity. Input-output device, keyboard, monitor, mouse, trackpad or touchpad, touchscreen, pen, speech input, recognize voice, speech, like scanner, printer, etc. Examples, desktops, laptops, tablets, smartphones, etc. The computer. This amazing technology went from a government business-only technology to being everywhere from people's homes, workplaces, to people's pockets in less than 100 years.
In conclusions, the evolution of computers has been a remarkable journey, with each generation building upon the previous one. From massive mainframes to sleek laptops and smartphones, computers has transformed the way we live, work, and communicate. As technology continues to advance, we can expect more exciting developments in the world of computers. And that's how computers evolve, one generation at a time, shaping the way we think, work, and connect. Hope you enjoy this tech time travel. If you learned something new, give this video thumbs up and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching and keep exploring the world of technology.